Getting started is the hardest part. Staying consistent, well, that's the second hardest part. Today, I'm going to focus on the getting started part as I dive into 5 simple steps to follow when you're getting started with strength training. By the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Kim. My goal is to help women over 50 build strong, defined muscles and lose body fat. I'm here to prove that we really can build muscle and have bodies we love at any age. I want to encourage you to prove that to yourself as well. If you're interested in building muscle and having a strong, healthy body for decades to come, please subscribe to my channel so that you can continue building the body you want. I know everyone wants to skip this first step and jump right in, but this step is super important. Step 1 is to know why you want to start strength training in the first place. The results that come from strength training can be absolutely amazing. They include muscle definition, more overall strength, more energy, improved body composition, or in other words, less body fat. And let's face it, most of us feel far more confident when we like how we look. However, none of this happens overnight. It takes time and effort. You may start out energized and excited to see some results, but without a doubt, that excitement will dwindle. Excuses will make an appearance. Other priorities will take the lead, and your strength training will likely fall off the radar. This happens to all of us at some point along our journey, unless we are prepared for it. So, how do you avoid these pitfalls and get the results you want? Well, that's step 1. You start by knowing exactly why you are starting a strength training program. Now, this may take some deep reflection. Your reason why needs to be important enough to keep you going when you don't feel like it, because there will be days you don't feel like it. So, for example, let's say you want to start strength training because you want defined arms. Great. Now, ask yourself, is having defined arms important enough that you will stick with it on the days you don't feel like it, or you have 1,000,001 other things on your to-do list? Another way to think about it is ask, why do you want defined arms? Ask yourself why a couple more times as you dive in deeper to why you are doing this. This is so important that I want to walk through an example so I make sure that this makes sense. So in this example, when asked, why do you want to strength train? Let's say the person says, I want to have defined arms. Now, ask yourself, why do I want defined arms? Perhaps you say, I think defined arms look sexy. Great. Now, why do you want sexy arms? I want to feel confident in a tank top. Next, well, why do you want to feel confident in a tank top? Well, it's been a dream of mine to have sexy defined arms my whole life, and I want to prove to myself that I can do it. Next, why is it important to prove to yourself that you can do it? Well, I'll feel more confident wearing this sleek sleeveless dress at my daughter's wedding. Okay, now you probably have a very important reason why, and that will motivate you and keep you consistent. You don't necessarily need to go 5 deep with your whys, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how to get down to a deeper reason. Now, while the first answer may be enough to keep you motivated, for some, it just may not be enough for those days when your energy seems low or you just have so many things on your to-do list. The wedding or some other important date may be the motivation you need. Once you think you're done, ask yourself if this why will get you up and moving when you don't feel like it? If not, then keep digging a little bit deeper. If so, then you may want to post this why somewhere where you can see it daily. Maybe this would be on a bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, or maybe it's your home screen on your watch or your phone. So now that you know your why, let's move on to step 2. In step 2, we need to set a realistic goal. You may want to have defined sexy arms in 30 days, but that's not realistic and will likely set you up for major disappointment. Building muscle takes time and a lot of it. And as we get older, it can take even more time. I like goals that are a bit of a stretch, meaning I really need to work hard to reach my goal, but it is doable. I also like to have a longer term goal and then split it into several mini goals. We can control the actions we take, but we cannot control how quickly our body will respond. So for me, I set goals that are more related to gaining strength and the actions that are required. I know that if I stay focused on the right actions, I will get stronger. It's just a matter of consistency and enough time. I currently have a goal to build more muscle in my legs. I know by performing exercises to help me get stronger with my squats and deadlifts that I will build muscle, and it's much easier to measure how much I can squat and deadlift than to determine whether or not I've gained a pound of muscle. And it's incredibly motivating every time I'm able to increase the amount of weight I can lift or the number of reps I can do. This by itself keeps me motivated and energized to keep lifting. Let's go back to our earlier example of the woman who wants to build defined, sexy arms. If her daughter's wedding is far out enough, let's say 6 months or more, then this could be a realistic goal. If it's sooner than 6 months, I'd recommend that she modify her goal. She can still be making progress towards her defined, sexy arms for her daughter's wedding. However, she may need another why that will keep her going. If a goal doesn't feel doable, it's way too easy to just throw it away because what's the point? It's not possible. Think of it this way. Let's say the wedding is in 2 months. Okay, then it may not be reasonable to expect defined sexy arms for the wedding. It will depend on how close you already are to that goal. But what if you start working on it now and have another date 9 to 12 months out to push for? How will you feel in 12 months if you start today? Of course, you could also create a mini goal that is about 2 months out. Perhaps that goal is simply to train consistently 3 days a week for the next 2 months. That's a great start towards your 12-month goal. Now on to step 3. You know why you are starting to strength train, and you have a realistic goal. So next up, determine how much time you can dedicate to training. We all have different schedules. It's also okay to start with less time and gradually increase over time. If you can only devote 30 minutes once a week, then that's where you start. Now, obviously, with only 1 day per week, it will take a lot longer to reach that goal. But that may be a trade-off you need to make. At this point, we're determining what you can do consistently. A less than ideal plan done consistently is far better than the ideal plan done occasionally. My recommendation is that you start with what you know you can commit to and then gradually increase as you can. So you may be at 1 day per week for several weeks. Then consider adding a second day. Another option may be to train 4 to 5 days a week, but you only have 10 minutes you can dedicate per day. So you can start with 10 minutes per day and gradually increase the time as you can. Now, step 4 is to find a program that will guide you toward accomplishing the goal you have set for yourself. You can find predefined strength training programs everywhere. Just make sure it fits your schedule. Many programs out there can take upwards of 65 to 75 minutes to complete. If you only have 30 minutes, find a program that can be done in 30 minutes or that you can tweak to get done in 30 minutes. I have several programs that you may want to check out. You can find links to each of them in the description below this video. Assuming you are brand new to strength training, I highly recommend checking out Strong Start. Again, I'll put the link to that in the description below. I also offer complimentary coaching call where I can help you pick a program that works for you and your goals. The link to schedule a free coaching call will also be in the description. Now, step 5 is to get started and take it at your own pace. You can get started with one of my 8 to 12 minute workouts here on YouTube. I also have a couple free programs that you can check out. As I mentioned earlier, I have an 8-week program called Strong Start that was designed for the beginner. I'll put a link to that program in the description so you can check it out. If you're wondering, is it too late to start a strength training program after 50, 60, or 70? The answer is no. It is never too late. The best time to get started is now. Please keep this in mind. Generally speaking, it isn't that our goal is unrealistic. It's that our timeline is often unrealistic. We all want results yesterday. Be patient and give yourself enough time to reach your goal. I firmly believe that strength training is a way of life for the duration of our lives. So give yourself the time you need to reach your goals and just get started. If you aren't familiar with the benefits of strength training or why I think strength training should be a way of life, especially for those of us over 50, be sure to check out my video, Why Women Over 50 Need to Strength Train. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what your why is. There's no wrong answer, and it will be different for every single one of us. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and leave me a comment. I always love hearing about your fitness journey. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit subscribe so you can continue building muscle and creating a body you love. I'll see you in the next video.